Okay, once you have finished your fiend catching, it's time to start grinding for some sphere levels and get your people up to move on to the part after that. Stat maxing. If you don't get your sphere levels up, you're going to have a difficult time. The best way to do this is to equip your celestial weapons and either go to Omega Ruins or Inside Sin and just farm away for a little bit. Keep coming back to this guy and testing out his created monsters and see where you're at. If you're still a little bit too weak, just go back and grind some more. Not a big deal. Once you're done with that and you're ready to actually start maxing your stats out, there's a few specific fiends you want to keep in mind. Fenrir will drop agility spheres once you kill him. I'm not going to waste time. Just attack reels. Oh, I fucked that up. Alright, should be fine now. Now, every now and then, you'll get dark matter instead of agility spheres or strength spheres or whatever spheres. Dark matter is also pretty important. I'm not going to go over every fiend, just the ones that are important and the ones that are somewhat important. This one is somewhat important. It drops evasion spheres. It has very low health compared to most of the other things in here. But it does have high evasion. That should be obvious. The next one is this one. Also not important. Not really. Not later. This one drops accuracy spheres. It has a bit more health than Terex, but it has less than Fenrir. And then there's One Eye, who is also important. He drops magic defense. And just like Terex, he'll die in 2 hits once you're strong enough. One Eye is important for later, but I'm not going to go over that right now. And see, I just got dark matter instead of magic defense. But that's fine. Next one is Jumbo Flan. I mean, you can argue if this is worth it or not. Personally, it's not really worth it, but whatever. There are a few different ways to go about killing it. It's immune to all physical attack, and you cannot armor break it or anything. So you have to rely solely on magic. Problem with that is it has auto reflect. Now, early on, you're going to be too weak to damage it with magic to out heal its regen later. So the wise thing to do, and probably the easiest, is to just call out our trusty Anima. In an earlier video, I said there were specific abilities that I would want to teach Anima. All white magic, Dispel, Haste, and Curaga. While at this point, Curaga isn't all that important, Haste and Dispel certainly are. First thing is you cast Haste right away, and then start using Pain. Pain is not physical damage, it's technically magic damage. So you can injure it with pain. Once you get to a certain point in the fight and you've dealt enough damage to it, it will cast Reflect on Anima. Reflect is not the reason you want Dispel. When it casts Reflect, just leave it alone. If you don't kill it fast enough, it will cast Regen by bouncing it off of Anima's Reflect and onto itself. That's what you want Dispel for. Regen can heal it for ridiculous amounts, so get rid of it right away. Alright, the next one is called Tank It. There's a trick to this one. He could be a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. Not even Anima will be able to help you. And to prove it, I'll summon her. I'm not going to cast haste on her this time because she's right now too powerful, and she'll kill it before Tank It does what I want you to see. This move right here. If you do not kill it before it does rush attack while using an Aeon, once it starts rush attack, that's it. It'll keep going until your Aeon is dead. Anima will not get another turn after this. Doesn't mean you can't still kill it. Oh, more dark matter. Now we'll try again using Anima, but we're going to kill it before it gets off its rush attack. So this time, first thing we do is haste. And then just pummel it with a regular attack. Now, given how strong my anima is and how quick she is, it'll die before it actually gets its next turn. But when your anima is still a bit weaker, you want to wait until the turn just before the boss goes again, and then use Oblivion. If you use Oblivion right away, Tank It will not die. And Anima will get fewer turns that way because that's how overdrives work. More dark matter. The last of the important ones is Juggernaut. And of course it's an ambush, no big deal. This one drops Strength Spheres. And again, I don't need to, but early on, Anima is your best friend in all of these situations. Except for Fenrir. Now, you could save the hassle of going through all of this mess by trying for a Zanmato with Yojimbo, but number one, that gets expensive. Number two, you don't get the overkills, which means you only get one of each item per kill. I'd rather get the overkill. And now for the most important stat of them all, luck. You get it from this guy here. This fight can be a bit challenging if you don't know how to handle it, or it can be ridiculously simple if you do. It can be defeated in 2 rounds. Please get good at attack reels. It's going to be one of the biggest benefits later on. Of course, I mess it up, but it should still die. Now that you know where to get all of those spheres, it's time for the next bit. The part where it comes to filling them in. An easy way to grind out the spheres to actually use on the stat spheres. Go to this guy. At first, he hits a bit hard, and he'll counterattack everything you do, but overall he's pretty simple. You want to use extract power, extract mana, extract ability, and extract speed. Sadly, there is no extract fortune, but this will do for now. Normally he only drops 20, but since it's an overkill, you get 40. Since there is no extract fortune ability, you have to rely on a much slower method of farming fortune spheres, and that's this guy. The easiest strategy is basically the exact same as the greater sphere, just attack reels. Now, every time you attack him, though, with attack reels anyway, he will counterattack with an instant death ability. Not a big deal, as long as your people have auto Phoenix. You don't have to waste a turn that way. Now, if you find yourself not being good at this last 2-hit, just wait for the timer to run out. It works, but the downside is you get in 2 or 3 fewer hits. And obviously it deals less damage. But it's effective nonetheless. Well, we got more dark matter, so... Alright, well that's going to be it for this video. I hope it helps you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.